I'm going to start this at the very beginning of where everything once came from, existence itself. Everything that can exist, has existed, or will exist, and does exist, exists now. There is no limit to existence. Existence is infinite. It is all encompassing, and it includes everything in it. Everything is energy. Existence itself vibrates at different frequencies and is expressed through energy. These energies are able to be translated from specific frequencies into form. It's how we hear different music notes. It's how one tree looks different from another. It's how we're able to differentiate between this flower and this flower. Everything has a specific and unique frequency, and it all comes from energy. Energy is the nature of all things. Everything is energy, and everything exists. So when we start with that foundation, we can begin to look at, well, what is existence and what it is that we are aware of. For quite some time, humans have been aware of and lived their life through the perception of their five senses: hearing, tasting, smell, touch, and sight. So these are the ways in which humans have interpreted reality. They have utilized their five senses to aid in their perception of how they see the world. Just because something can be perceived does not mean that it is the ultimate truth or the ultimate reality, and does not mean that that is the only thing that exists. There is so much more that exists beyond what can be perceived. And so, what humanity is waking up to now in its consciousness, and what individuals are waking up to in their awareness, is that there is more than what can be perceived, and that too does exist. So, what does this look like when we talk about ETs, extraterrestrials? So, what first, let's define extraterrestrial. It's something that is physically, can be physical, so something physically outside of Earth, but also in consciousness, so outside of human consciousness. So these are the two things that we're going to look at. Is there life forms on other planets? And is there intelligence beyond human consciousness? Well, I can answer that simply and quickly. The answer is yes, because if we go back to the beginning, everything exists, which means that just because there is consciousness of humanity does not mean that there are not other consciousnesses, other intelligences, and other life forms that exist beyond humanity. What humanity is moving into is different states of perception, different states of awareness that allow humans to access and become aware of different intelligences, different life forms, different beings. There's a show that you may have heard of called The X-Files. And in the show, the slogan that is said throughout many of the episodes is, "The truth is out there." And this was a theme that moved throughout the entire series. And what humanity is waking to in consciousness now is that the truth is not out there, the truth is within. And in order to access what is out there, you must go within. You must be able to go into your heart and connect with the true essence of who you are, the frequency, the energy, the soul, the unique individual expression of that which you are, and be able to access these different states of consciousness in order to become aware of that there are intelligences and there are beings beyond what it is that we have believed, because we have only been accustomed to utilizing our five senses. So when you turn your awareness into your heart and you enter into a meditative state, when you enter into a connection point with your heart and with your true essence, you begin to expand your awareness beyond your five senses. The five senses have served humanity for a long time and have been utilized to continue to perpetuate beliefs and narratives and ideas that subscribe to there not being intelligence outside of what we know. And well, if we don't know it, then it must not exist, right? Moving beyond those limited beliefs, those perceptions that are limited to what we can see and what we can hear, allows us to discover that there is reality beyond what it is that we are aware of within our current state of consciousness, our current perception. Humanity has operated on 3D consciousness, on 3D reality, and we are witnessing right now the progression and movement towards 4D and 5D consciousness, different experiences of consciousness within the collective humanity. And so each individual has the opportunity now to go within and connect with the higher states of consciousness in which they access their infinite, unlimited nature, and they access the infinite, unlimited nature of existence itself. This is where they can open their hearts and their minds to being able to access different states of awareness, different life forms, different beings, different intelligences. We are moving in this direction and we get to experience this. And if we move in this way through the state of fear, we will not allow ourselves to enter into the heart and enter into a place of curiosity and of love in order to access the truth of who we are and the truth of existence itself. If we fear what is outside of us, we will never understand the true nature of our own essence. You can check fear at the door when you go into these experiences because it will not serve you. It will not serve you. It will not. There is nothing to fear when you go within. If you continuously seek to experience intelligence and existence outside of you, if you seek outside of you, it induces a very fearful state because you are going at it from the perception of there is something outside of me that I do not know that could potentially cause me harm. This is not so. But we have grown up to believe it is, and we have utilized our five senses to enforce narratives that it is. And we have so articulately identified with ourselves as the five senses that it has become hard for humanity to expand consciousness beyond their self-identity and beyond their five senses in terms of reality. An example of this is what happens when you go into your dream state. Who are you when you're dreaming? Are you your body? Are you your awareness? Are you your five senses? Do you ever have dreams where you're not even aware of your physical body? You're just moving through and experiencing things differently. Do you have dreams where you are in a different body? Do you have dreams when you're in a completely different environment? When you begin to inquire and ask these questions, you get to see that there is an expression of intelligence that is beyond the human consciousness. This intelligence is extraterrestrial or beyond what the human knows. This is what we're waking up to, and this is what we have access to when we go beyond what is known. Yes, it can feel foreign to us, but we're not actually going outside. We're going in. And when you go within, there's nothing to fear. This is such an incredible time to be alive. And it is such an incredible time to be able to ask these questions and move into higher states of consciousness, individually and collectively. And we will see collectively humanity being able to access these higher frequencies, to access their true essence, to not have their expression limited to the five senses and what the body can and can't do. The body is not limited. Our minds are not limited. We have placed limitations on our minds and our bodies, but it is not so. We are the fabric of existence itself. We are the infinite expressed. There is nothing we cannot achieve. There is nothing that we cannot accomplish. There is nothing that we cannot overcome. When you remember these truths within you, you begin to awaken and you begin to experience life in a completely different way. You begin to understand, not even just understand, you begin to know that there are other life forms, other thoughts. Like literally the idea that you can have thoughts beyond the repetitive thoughts that you've been thinking for a majority of your life, you know? Like, oh, I gotta go to work today. Oh, I gotta make dinner today. I have to stop at the store on the way home. Oh, I gotta take the kids to practice. These repetitive thoughts over and over and over again. There's thoughts that are beyond the thoughts that you're aware of. There are feelings, there are tastes, there are sights, there are sounds beyond the things that you are aware of. Have you ever been Have you ever heard a sound before that you haven't heard before and you're like, wow, I haven't heard that before. In all these years, I haven't heard this before. Or have you ever tasted something and you're like, wow, out of all of the years that I've lived, I've never tasted something like this. There's no limit. There's no limit. So rather than using your five senses and your current state of awareness, your perceptions to reinforce the beliefs that you have and the thoughts that you keep thinking every single day, again and again, utilize the five senses to go within and expand your awareness, expand into higher states of consciousness. Be willing to connect with intelligence beyond what it is that you know. Be willing to connect with beings beyond what you can see in physical form that look like humans. This is all accessible to you. When you go within, there's no fear. There's nothing to fear. You're not looking for answers or information or anything that's outside of you. It exists within you. There's nothing to fear within you. This is the nature of intelligence beyond what the human knows. This is the nature of ET intelligence. This is the nature of the awakening of consciousness for humanity. This is the nature of your awakening. You must go within in order to awaken because nothing is outside of you. You've got this.